Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where me and Aaron we're gonna let y'all know what happened on the semifinals of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. Everybody, help me welcome Aaron to the show.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's the final. We're down to the final four now, but it's the episode that determines the final four.
OMG. It's a wrap, y'all. We are pretty much done. It has been a great season. I mean, no real issues, no hair pulling, no no real back. Well, there's a couple of cringy moments, but for the most part, these queens have stood the test of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a particularly dramatic season with the way that they kind of went after each other, like the Ariete of it all. And there was some kind of, there was some viciousness. I think Ariete would have pulled some hair. But I still get what you're saying. I think this was a great season. I enjoyed all the queens. I do feel like they're genuinely more bonded now that we get to the end. It's been a good season.
Yes. And for them to be quite younger, my understanding from most of the other seasons, they've held themselves up in a quite mature way for the most part. So I'm happy to hear that. They were there. It seemed like they were there. They were there for the crown. They were there about they were about their business. I'm all stuttering, trying to forget my words. They were about their business. Yes, and pretty much the last 5, maybe 6, it could have been anybody's game. I think I mentioned if they just have a slight blurb of something, they're gonna be out of here because they all could have made it to the end. The last, I would probably say 6 people, but we got our favorites.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the people we've ended up with. I think it's fair.
Yeah. Now, they had a maxi challenge where RuPaul let them know that they will be doing publicity photos as well as doing a commercial and an interview with Latrice Royale, all for a new single that RuPaul's Drag Race Live will be performing in Vegas down to the Flamingo Casino, right? Now, like I said, I was there back in 2020. Was it last year? Was it 2023? Either way, I think it was last summer. And I had a ball. It was so much fun. I can't wait to go back. Now that these ladies will be there more so, because some of the ladies that were there, I didn't really recognize, but I would like to see some folks that I've been commenting about, talk to them, and just pick their brain a little bit. I had the chance to talk with them a little bit when I was there, but it was, you have to buy a VIP experience though. It wasn't too costly. It was, real cute coin to pay. But yeah, I can't wait to go back. So yeah, like I said, they had the publicity photos, doing a commercial interview with Latrice Royale, and also they're going to perform this episode for the new single called Gift Shop. It was kind of cute. Did you like the song Gift Shop?
Yeah, it was cute.
So
their little performance was cute. That's what I liked. I thought they looked real cute together with the dancers and stuff.
For sure. Now, Latrice Royale talking with all the ladies. I mean, her gown was just beautiful. Makeup beautiful. Here she is talking with Jules Sparkle. She made an impact on Latrice. Latrice appreciated her spunk and everything that she said. Then she got stumped at the end where she didn't have a 5-year plan.
Well, forget that she's like 22 years old. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting because, you know, when you're that young, that's an, you know, anyway, I just felt for her. I thought it was a cute little moment, and I thought to myself, I wouldn't have known what the hell to say at 22. You know, I wouldn't have. But Latrice is one of my favorite drag queens of all time. She is amazing. So I was happy to see her gracing my screen.
I believe she was on season 4 of Drag Race or All Stars. I think it was mid-year.
No, wait, what? I think she's season 4. And then she's been on like 3 different times. She was on, she was on All Stars 1.
All right now.
They did Partners on that season and it was not good. Yeah, she's a beloved.
I like her. I've seen her a few times, not so often on different things. Yeah. And I hadn't had a chance to see all of the previous Drag Race seasons. All the different changes these streaming services making. You think you're gonna watch something, next thing you know it's gone, child. So
I know. Chunky yet funky. She's iconic.
And of course, Sam Star, she was so rehearsed, girl. It was like, girl, pageant down. It was like she rehearsed everything. Everything was perfect. Perfect Patty child. It could be a little obnoxious in my opinion, but because I would like to see more of an on the cuff answer versus a lot of rehearsed. It just, I don't know. Was it me, or did you feel like it was just all rehearsed and not more authentic or on the cuff?
I just think she's very much a pageant queen, and I think that she gave us pageant answers. And I think that one thing that her drag mother has that she doesn't is Trinity is very funny and, you know, confident and seasoned enough in her career that her answers would have had that little extra what that you're looking for. But considering she's so young and so polished because of pageantry, I also think that's why she's not going to win, because she's a little too pageant.
So do they have any pageant type queens that have won or have been in the fray?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trinity, the Trinity won All Stars 4 with Monet, the twinners, remember?
So I'm like before. I remember Trinity, but like
oh my god, Alyssa Edwards has not won, but Alyssa Edwards, well, she has now. She won Queen of the Universe, you know, Queen versus the World or whatever the heck.
Okay, yeah, she is pageant like.
100. She doesn't get more pageant. Latrice has done pageants. I'm like forgetting how many of these.
And she was on this season too. How could I forget about Alyssa?
Yeah, there are so many that like Drag Race fans would be screaming at me to mention that I'm not even remembering. But those are, because honestly, yes, pageants are a huge part of drag.
You know, I'm just thinking about it. Do you think Plastique Tiara is pageant or just real femme? Like, I don't know.
No, I think she's just real femme. And Plastique, you know, but I think versus, well, I don't know. I think Nymphia has started a pageant in Taiwan, or I think at least started her own house. So
you remember having a house,
yeah. I don't know. The pageant though, in the sense that you and I are talking about, that's a very American thing.
Okay.
Or Canadian too, but yeah, there's plenty of them.
Okay, I can't wait to find them all out. Shoot.
Yes,
it's all good. Next, we have Anya Nerve, looking like she about to interview
Oprah.
Oprah. I was about to say Essence Magazine, but yeah, she was it was a little different in my opinion. It seems like she has a conservative type of drag look. Like I mentioned, when we're gonna see her publicity photos and not so much. I don't know, maybe just me, maybe I just don't know, but it seemed like it was less drag and more business minded. I don't
I
know.
feel like Anya Nerve is a like not older black woman, but like a more mature black woman, if that makes sense. I feel like that persona that she gives us, yeah, that has
Auntie
that in
drag.
there. Yeah. So I'm curious to
Auntie
see how it evolves, because she has had really young looks, like the nails when she had like those little coochie cutter shorts and whatever. So
Yeah.
she does do it. I think that Anya needs her taste level refined a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
her creativity funneled into the access that she's going to have with more designers and more money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the weakest area that Anya has, is some of her drag choices.
Did I just make something up? Auntie drag.
You might have. I mean, I go trademark it real quick.
Hashtag Auntie. You've heard it here first, people. Auntie drag. Performed
I
by Anya Nerve.
Yeah, I don't know if we should necessarily claim that, because we might get clocked by some gays, but we hear, yes, hey,
It's
claim it.
all love over here. I don't play them host show games or whatever them games is called, because
Oh,
folks
I
is
know.
respected over here. But
Yes.
I never heard that. That just did I just make up something? Let's
You might
see.
have. You might have. You
Okay,
very well
Auntie
might have. Let's
drag.
leave it out there. Yeah.
Okay. And this will be recorded forever in stone etched. Okay, so don't try it
Yep.
anyway. Next on the menu, Lexi Love giving Letterfolk realness. Yes, her hair is in the trans colors, and under her, oh, I should have got the one with her under her coat was the regular gay flag. Is that what it's called?
Pride
Yeah, it
flag.
was
Yeah.
really cute. Really cute. And yeah, she showcased it, and it was a good interview. She gave, of course, her story of when she was a man, going through her drug issues and almost being trafficked, and just getting a wake-up call and changing her life and wanting to make sure that her vulnerability isn't misconstrued. She's living her life and being who she truly is. But what was funny was when she mentioned all of the estrogen flowing, and Latrice said, "Oh yeah, the moms."
Yep.
When I hear that and I hear other folks say it, it's always in a joking matter. They always say them, "Oh yeah, them moms, girl, them moms." It's like, oh my God. But
Yep. It's a real thing. Hormones are
girl,
real.
I wonder, does those pills mimic what we go through, what a woman goes through every month? I wonder, is that the
Yeah.
same?
Well, what, especially in the transitioning is like going through puberty, because you're
Yeah,
literally taking a body and you're introducing enough of a specific kind of hormone to alter the appearance, right?
yeah,
So imagine how we were when we were, 11, 12, 13, going through all that. Try being an adult. And you not only have to take enough um, to feminize the body, like you're kind of erasing the work of masculinity as well.
yeah,
So, you know what I mean? So I think for a lot of people, transitioning the first couple of years are rough,
girl.
because you're literally putting in enough hormones into your body to change. I mean, because look at T.S. Madison. That woman's been on hormones so long, you don't see no man in there.
That's true.
She's all softened up, and they have to deal with a lot of the things that, we as women do, like too much estrogen, weight gain is real easy, fat all these sorts of things. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I feel for Lexi. She's lived a really hard life. She's but she's a beautiful queen.
I love her spirit through it all. She doesn't mean no harm. She's just emotional. and I don't want to laugh at her. It's just she don't mean no harm. She's
No.
She's just a girl going through it. So
yeah, she's funny that way for sure. Because she cries at the drop of a hat.
Girl, when I thought, because at first I thought maybe that's just her face because it's so pulled, and nipped and tucked, and she got the tape on and everything. But after I looked back, I said, no, she was actually crying. Oh my goodness. So yeah, big ups to Lexi. And then we have the incomparable Susie too. She made an impression on Latrice. I can see Latrice looking at her like, girl, what'd you say?
You said the incomparable. You said the I think she's comparable, but no kidding. I feel like Susie flatlined at a certain point in this competition. Mm-hmm. And I do think part of that maybe is production, but like I liked Plasma better than Susie as far as like wanting a winner to go further. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like the critiques about Susie being too in love with this oldie timey aesthetic and them, and I do genuinely hate her makeup. I do. I don't like the signature Susie look. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't moments where I deeply appreciate it, but Susie too is, went Susie tone deaf for me a little while back. So
I would have appreciated her softening her look, especially like you said with the makeup, so that if she took her so-called blinders off and not focusing so much on changing the game as she kind of said in this interview, she wanted to push through anyway and just see what's going on because everybody else looked like they belonged and she didn't.
Well, the thing about a niche,
and as you talk, I'm going to flash through the photos so people can really understand.
Right.
What my point is.
Yeah, because I think you're right. The photos absolutely show exactly what you're talking about. When you have a very niche point of view that is very dated and like tied to an era versus figuring out ways to harness the essence of the style and the era, but evolve it and modernize it and make it CUNT, because that's what RuPaul's looking for, and that's what drag is. What Susie's doing is like character, like theater kid, and it's not drag the way that the other ladies are doing it. You are too in love with being this quirky person in love with the 20s, well, then you're going to have a limited niche appeal and you're never going to be a winner of Drag Race because you have to transcend beyond what you love. Like how many times, look, Nymphia Wind had a banana all the time. And some people, it was too much banana. But I thought that the way that she was constantly reinventing that with her costumes and stuff was great. It worked for me, right?
That worked.
Yes. So that's an example of Susie needs to take the essence and what she loves from the 20s era, but evolve it. And if she doesn't, then, stay in your little character shoes and do some follies, but don't think you're going to come back to All-Stars and win anything.
And with all that said, wasn't that great? Okay. Well, for me, I'm glad that Lexi was in the middle. She stood out, of course, with all her colors. And I think that may have given her a little more confidence, with her emotions, and everything. She did great, as the judges said. They all did a great job. But if y'all could see what stood out.
Yeah, she's a beautiful queen that has a great stage presence. I think that's undeniable. She just needs to And honestly, it's not even fair to say work on her confidence, because part of hormone therapy could be creating the like physical anxiety in her body
Mm-hmm.
that causes her breakdown. So,
I can
you
see
know,
that.
right? It's a combination of things. I just hope that that gets better for her, because obviously that's the thing that held her back this season,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
was that she was her own worst enemy and kind of choked at important points when everybody's looking at her going, "Why are you so in your head about Susie Toot?" She stopped winning 5 episodes ago.
But as you can see, who stood out was Susie too. She was the oddball and all of
Oh,
that.
yes, I do know what you mean that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. And Rue, you can tell the judges don't want that much 20s, okay? They just don't.
And that's what I mean by you're in your way. You're
Yeah.
trying to press upon something like don't reinvent the wheel, baby. You have to be a part of you have to be a spoke in the wheel, boo boo.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't take away what's already working. And it doesn't mean that you have to change who you are. But if you want to be a part of this, then there are some things that she's going to have to change. And I just don't think she was willing to do that. Ergo, for example, all of these last couple of episodes, she had one face change throughout this whole season thus far. And that made a big ass difference.
It did. When they flashed to other looks where she modified her makeup, it was like, yeah, Susie, I respect that you love what you love, but do not expect to win as a reigning queen of drag if you are going to shove something so niche down our throats. You need to
Yes,
accept the fact that if you need to stay true to this, then you're gonna have a smaller audience, because
true.
there has to be a universal level of glamour or humor or any of the CUNT for RuPaul to be one of Rue's girls, one of Rue's winners. And
And I'm
Shuffle
glad.
Off to
Mhm.
Buffalo ain't gonna do it.
And I'm glad that they put them up there for the show because I think that
Mm-hmm.
showed who we have as potentials and what they can bring to the show, what the show would look like. And if that she didn't fit with that look, first of all. It just was it didn't look right. It wasn't working. And
I don't, that little tiny lip. The way that she makes herself look like more like dark circle under her eyes, it's too close to clownery.
for me, it's more so the clothes. Like, girl, get into drag. You up here looking
True.
like you about to go to the beach.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No, and
Like,
some of
what are
her
you
runs,
doing?
that one runway where she wore that man's bathing. Yeah, no, there's been some just abominations of drag. Yes.
Of all, you ain't got nothing else to put on for. Just think about being in Vegas, but she couldn't. She thought about herself in Vegas and not being in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a little
You
bit of
saying?
self-centeredness that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work, because you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be full of ego, but you also, as an entertainer, have to be able to adjust in order to be successful.
Listen, hey, aunties and unks, I think, and everybody else, but for the aunties and unks, we know we have to play the game until we get the job. Once we get the job, then we can play with it and see what we can and cannot do.
Yep.
But we have to look the part first.
You have to be a little bit adjustable on Drag Race. And you have to know, if you are super nichey, that may be your downfall. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
comedy queen and you have super crazy, you know, Trixie Mattel didn't win at first with her crazy ass makeup. Everybody hated that shit, So I'm just saying, you have to be able to adjust on Drag Race. And when the judges say versatility, you have to be able to do that and have a plan for what that might look like. If you're
Mm-hmm.
completely unwilling to adjust because you want to stay true to some specific point of view you have, you might very well get eliminated for that reason, as you see right here with Susie too. Because The
Okay.
confidence about how she was doing literally halfway through the season should have gone away. Think about it. When was her last win? I think it was the RuPaul the
Girl,
Saturday
don't
Night
ask me.
Live.
Don't
Yeah,
get me
see?
learned.
So, anyway, she's an example of Delulu that doesn't work.
Oh.
Sorry.
And to be honest, without padding, her body is T. I mean, it's a cute little shape. She don't need no padding. She thick enough and not too thin. And I'm just saying. I'm like, she got it. It's just like, girl, just step away from all of girl. You
just
got
loosen your grip. You don't even have to step away. Loosen your grip.
Thank you.
Loosen your grip. There is absolutely a way to do vintage inspired makeup. You ain't gotta do exactly like
She sunk a battleship because it just didn't look. If you notice, everybody there looked like they belong in Vegas, but her.
Yeah.
So now that we're going through all of the things, of course, it's the runway part. And of course, that's one of my favorite songs by Rue outside of Hustle That Cat, baby. Oh, I love that song. Girl, I take that stuff in the car. I'm like, yes, hey. Whole kid, girl, I'll be like, I told my baby grand, put the whole kitty in it. He looked at me like, what? Girl, I'll be in the car just blasting that song. Anyway, yeah, so RuPaul got some hits, y'all. If y'all don't know, shoot, just put a RuPaul and just let it play. But yeah, so we're gonna get the runways, of course, and of course another incomparable.
Yeah.
Dress. Now, I think I saw this dress on Instagram, and it better not be that dress. If so, fire whoever put you in that dress room.
Zaldi is Rue's like personal stylist.
Well, I think Zaldi got it wrong because I know for a fact I've seen this dress on Instagram or no, one of those boutiques that favor their advertising on Instagram. Rather, I ain't gonna say the name because I'm not quite sure the name, but I know when I've clicked on it, hit the little arrow to see what they got for sale. So, okay, let me see. And I could have swore that dress, but although it had more of a jacket top than this over the shoulder thing, that Arena Tyler from Love and Marriage DC had that dress on recently. Just saying, the same effect of the dress, everything. I'm just saying, I don't know, but I think he was duped into thinking this was something else, or he pulling a fast one, or maybe he was pressed for time. Is it a he? I'm sorry. Who's dressing her?
Yes. Okay. I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know, but when I saw it, I said, "Oh, not an Instagram." Anyway, let me get off of this because you know. Anyway, Michelle Visage looking like, girl, what? Tease to the gods? What's going on?
She looks like Jewel Sparkle's confessional hairstyle. Just like if she stuck her finger in a light socket.
I mean, Ross Matthews and his brooch, honey. A brooch will get it to you. We'll make it right every time. Get you some chiffon on the brooch.
Shout out to Matty Rance. He said in his review he's tired of Ross, and I am too.
I like Ross.
Go. No, it's not that I dislike him. I just would prefer to have Law or TS or even Carson more frequently.
Why haven't we seen Ross and Carson on a panel together on this show?
I think we have. They just don't do it that often because they just want their one token gay guy.
We listen. TS is cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And even some of these so-called celebrity judges, like who we got next, Diana Ross' daughter. Yeah. But just for the comedic factor of it all, we especially when they're doing Snatch Game. If anybody over there is watching, if you're listening, watching, listening, please put Carson Matthew together when you're doing a Snatch Game episode. We need the comedy full speed ahead. We don't need nobody else chiming in. And again, don't get me wrong, we love everybody else, but we need I need them too. If you just do it for me, please.
Okay, well, I also shout out to Maddie Rents again. He suggested bringing in Alan Carr, who is on. He's a comedian. He's British. He's on Drag Race UK, and he's very funny. I would love to see him more on the American franchise because he's really cool.
Him.
I know.
Until I know him, it got to be
okay. Fair.
Ross, Carson, Rue, and Michelle. That's it. Until I see Alan.
Fair. Speaking of Ross.
And his brooch, baby. Look at that. Red chiffon. Yes. Red looks good on him. Mm-hmm. And again, we have Donna Ross's daughter.
I meant this Ross. You were, that's why I was joking. I said, speaking of a Ross.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm still upset that I didn't see Carson.
I know.
Anywho, all right. I love her hair, and I think Jules says she uses her product. So big ups to whatever that line is. I know it's a yellow and black labels, y'all. Just go ahead and find it, y'all.
Well, Jules kind of has similar hair to Gemma, so I might check it out.
Yeah, all them folks got that curly, bouncy hair. Really cute. Oh, you know, I love a good wet set. Ooh, I'm gonna do my hair in a wet set one day. Anyway. I just love a good wet set. It's just so pretty and bouncy and everything. Anywho. Okay, enough about me and what I like. Now, the runway, y'all. Only 5 heifers left. And they looking good. Like I said, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game. And I think Jules said her and her grandmama, who was Sam's mama, made this, which is really cute.
Yep, her and Trinity. I thought this was very Vegas. It was opulent.
That's what I'm saying, Susie.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, she did come through here, but
I was gonna say, yeah. I would say that, but yeah.
And then we have the knock-knee pigeon-toed Lexi Love looking really cute and nervous.
Yeah. She's beautiful. Yes. She's clearly the model of the season. But I didn't think this was opulent, and I didn't think that the outfit underneath went with the jacket.
Girl, I was just gonna say I was cool on the outfit, but I do get it. It's Vegas. I think they really had the Vegas in mind, but the whole point was to showcase the outerwear, which I liked. But if we're gonna go between this and what we saw already, I would go with Jules.
Yeah.
This looked more like Hocus Pocus, Abracadabra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would like to see more on this coat than just this heart symbols. I don't know.
Yeah, and not the outfit underneath. Sometimes some of Lexi's runways have fallen flat for me because they're a little disjointed, and this is kind of one of those examples.
Mm-hmm. But that mug is sitting.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. It's undeniable. She is. When she slaps that paint on and gets those legs to walking down that runway, it's stunning.
Face all day.
Yep.
And we have a cultural situation here looking very nice. I love a good brown on your nerve.
Nymphia Wind on the pit stop said that Anya does not have a good idea of proportion, and I agree.
Yeah.
I also think that there needs to be a little bit of editing because I don't know if she's insecure about her body sometimes or not, or because sometimes she wears really revealing stuff, but sometimes it's like there's no shape at all of a feminine, like sometimes her body gets completely lost in the costume. And this is one of those examples. It's very striking, but this.
Yeah. I thought the outerwear was fantastic looking. It was, and not just the cultural aspect, but how the items, or I don't know what exactly they are, just the whole thing was just I can't think of the word. I really liked it. It looked cozy.
Mm-hmm.
It looked opulent in a
This,
more of a cultural way, not so much the usual,
yes, I
this
agree.
looks pricey but yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Now, what I didn't like, sorry, Sam, you look beautiful. Mug is sitting. Just to reiterate, the mug the face card will never decline. But wear the coat, Mama.
She looks so much like Linda Evangelista to me. It's crazy.
I, I heard that name. I just need to see her face.
It's a 90s supermodel I need to send you a picture of, because if you see it, you'll be like, oh, yep.
She's not a drag performer.
Nope, she's a 90s supermodel, but I think that Sam is actually,
Girl.
I think Sam is a beautiful woman, honestly. I mean, it's just undeniable that she has a pretty face. I thought this was very old for her. I thought it was a little too pageant. Sometimes Sam, kind of like Anya, like looks a little too old. But Anya did it better. So, I don't hate this, but it was not my favorite. It was
do
down
you
at the bottom.
do you think her sister may have helped her? Who was the mother of Jewel Sparkles?
Possibly, because uh Chantel and her partner, they do make a lot of costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Um and whose costume they made Sam's mother-daughter look.
Yes.
So anyway, probably, or she stole this out of Trinity's closet.
Now, is there another piece to their family tree? Somebody else in the fray of all the drag aficionado?
There may be some other children that we don't know about, but because I didn't even necessarily know about, because Sam and Chantel are two of Trinity's kids. So House of Tuck might have some more, but
I was just about to ask you, what's her house name?
she doesn't
But
have
they
a
all
house
got
name.
different names, child.
No, yeah, I don't think Trinity has like a specific house name, but
Oh.
yeah, so there's Chantel and Sam, and then obviously Jules is Chantel's, so she falls into that house. But you can kind of tell by looking at Jules and Chantel, you see the family, you see the influence like you see between Sam and Trinity, more so. So Jules is
Well,
definitely a granddaughter.
well, I don't know if you remember, but if Anya gets with Safira Cristal, and because maybe her drag godmother, because
Yeah,
she needs guidance.
true.
And just like how Nymphia mentioned, she's there, but just
Yeah.
the polishing of it all, and she can go farther. But I just thought of Saphira because they have similar ways. They're good at what they do.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure. I agree. Like Nymphia said, I look forward to seeing the polish on Anya, and I think we're gonna get that
Yeah.
because I just kind of have a feeling that's who's winning. But anyway,
And being in 3 years, yeah, girl. And in 3 years, she gonna be fierce AF.
yeah, because she's gonna go on tour. Like most of the queens get, like, it's not mandatory, I don't think, but like I think they all do Work the World, Voss events. They all do the Work the World tour, which is where all the recent queens of the season just go on tour to all around the world, and that's where a lot of them really go to boot camp.
Okay.
So, and here we go.
Beautiful.
The best she's ever looked.
Opulent. And to be honest, this was the best look all night.
Agreed. I know. Opulent. Where
This
was
right
this?
here killed it.
Yep. Stomped all over it. Even the funky hat worked. It all worked. Where was this the whole season?
And her face went with it, just to give it,
Yeah.
validity. But girl, has she
Yeah.
been just a little more versatile throughout the
I know.
season
I
with
know.
her looks? Girl, she could be in the top two.
Well, if some of the looks even had even half of this glamour, because
Girl.
she really, really underestimated some of them. Like I said, that stupid man bathing suit she came out in, just, a couple of other of her runways have been incredibly underwhelming.
How about this episode alone?
Oh, 100. The ugly ass. Yes. Oh,
I
yes.
mean, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
If you know, girl, I don't even want to keep
Yeah,
beating the dead horse. We keep beat, but the thing is, it's like we were kind of rooting for you, but you got in your own way trying to do you instead.
yeah,
Girl, because this
yeah.
look right here,
Amazing.
this would have won it for her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was an authentic coat from back then
Yep.
also.
And this is where,
Authenticity matters in drag from what I've been paying attention to.
well, what this does is it high showcases the best of what that decade had to offer. Coat, this amazing flapper, drapey with the little skirt, like, you know, this
Mm,
this is where it absolutely worked. And if you had brought this level of drag to all your other runways, we might have fallen in love with 20s. But this was the best you had by far. Second only, I think, to the octopus look. Maybe a third would be the Iron Maiden look, right?
oh yeah,
But like,
that was fierce.
yeah, it was cool and it was different. But nothing, this embodies what you're talking about, and you didn't give us this. You didn't give us this level of glamour. This is puss. This is what could have convinced us to let you be a time traveler. But you instead wore those ugly ass bathing suits that didn't anybody look good. And you
Right. It
showed,
wasn't puss enough. Thank you.
no, no.
Right.
This is,
Puss it up.
yeah, yeah,
I, I think she said she's gonna be living in New York City doing her thing. Puss it up if you listen to Washington listening. If anybody know Susie, puss it up.
yeah.
Puss it up.
If you want to stay in drag, put some of this on it.
Girl. Make more of these outfits.
Yeah.
Play off of
Let,
this look.
yep.
And when they call upon a bathing suit, make sure it's puss, but look how you gonna look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
Susie,
she really flatlined for me. I have to say, there was a place in her trajectory in the show where her drag just flatlined her.
yeah, so much to the point where she had to lip sync for her life, y'all. As you can see,
Yeah.
her and Sam both. I mean, Sam, girl, where is your outer coat?
Yeah.
Shoot. Anywho, yeah, y'all. We all know what happened because Sam over here thanking the Lord she won.
Well, we knew well, actually, I could have seen them giving it to Susie over Sam, although they had it was clear to me that they wanted Sam in the final more than Susie just by the win ratio that they'd given her, Like there were one or two times that Susie could have won that, like the Rusical, where I would have believed it, right? But I lost it for Susie, and so it's okay. I still like Sam. I don't think Sam's gonna win, but Sam is a cute little contender.
I think the final decision was made based on who looks like whose look is most familiar with drag, and it wasn't Susie's.
I just don't think they like Susie's. I just don't think they just don't think they believed in Susie's aesthetic enough to have it carry through.
All that is just I mean, frankly, their lip sync for the life was like, this all y'all gonna do?
I know.
Like this
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was like, I don't even think that played a factor in the decision. I think it was just looking over it all. Who outperformed who, at least this episode, and it was definitely Sam, just by she looks more like a drag queen.
Yeah. Listen, there was no Anitra jumping over Marsha.
Girl.
There, like we had some weak sauce lip syncs this season. I will say that, because I think about some of the amazingness we've witnessed in the past, So.
Well, and on top of all that, we learned that that in 2 weeks they're going to crown season 17 winner, and next week will be the lip sync palooza, where all of the queens that sashayed away will come back, and it'll be process of elimination, battling. I guess they'll pick a number. Is that how it went? And they just went at each other, and whoever was left standing was the winner for $50K, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Morphine Love Dion won that, didn't she?
Yeah, I think it was $25K last year.
Yeah. Well, hey, give them all opportunities to win. This economy is hurting everybody.
Do you think Morphine will be back to help host, since she was the winner of the last year's?
Oh, that would be cute. Yeah, poor Morphine. Still, she looks like she's bounced back from that terrible car accident pretty good, but I feel bad for her because she was right at the height of her career when she had her jaw broken in that accident, the car accident here in LA. Yeah. So, I would love to see her. She's a beautiful lady.
Don't forget, y'all, next week we're going to be giving you the Lip Sync Perusa episode. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be giving you, we may go live that week, but we'll definitely let you know. But before we go, we want to look at all of the rest of the queens, let you know that they are advertising, not that one, but this one. They are advertising. Are you Team Lexi Love? The hashtags are real. They want you, they meaning RuPaul and everybody over there, want you to hashtag who is your favorite. Now, I usually they want you to vote or text whatever, I think, but for right now, I think the more of the popularity of it all, they're going to be tallying up and seeing what is what with the hashtag. It's important now, just like when you see hashtags on what the shows say, like, hashtag RuPaul's Drag Race, yada yada. So don't forget, hashtag Team Lexi Love, hashtag Team Jules Sparkles, and this is for your favorite. Or if you just want to hashtag them all, hell, why not? Hashtag Team On Your Nerve, but you have to use hashtag Team Whoever. And lastly, but not leastly, hashtag Team Sam Star. Yes, they are doing their big one, and we want to send see you later to all the other queens. We'll see them next week, child, for that. And who think is gonna win next week's lip sync Perusa?
I don't know. I can't call that one. I'm not sure. Maybe Lana Jarre, since she did it so many times.
Girl. Well, we gonna see Joella coming back, y'all. If you know, you know.
Oh my goodness. Yes, the delusion.
Ella.
Hey, I appreciate her delusion.
Oh, was there anything else left? I think I left it all, child.
Yep. I'm good.
Well, we good, y'all. So listen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please, before we go, let us know where we can find you.
You can catch me on Instagram at psychic_ELB. If you're looking for a psychic reading, I will give you a good one.
Yes, you will.
You can also catch me on, like I said, stay tuned. I'm going to be working on something myself. And, but I'll some not drag review related, more on lifestyle.
There you go, y'all. Don't forget, her name is right there, _ELB. And don't forget to come back, and we're going to give you more shows coming through. So you guys have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye, y'all.
rain all day.